Hello, welcome back to Fist Entertainment. This time for my review of 2012's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. It says 2012 on the internet, but technically it's just a 2011 movie, so I will correct myself. This is a review for Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol from 2011. Okay. Well, for the longest time, this was probably what I considered to be the weak link of the Mission Impossible films. Believe it or not, I have not changed my opinion. I can say that I definitely enjoyed this movie. Much more than I remember enjoying it. But it still is the weakest link in the Mission Impossible films. This is the one that I think the story's good, the action's good, but compared to previous films in the franchise, the first 3 films, this falls short of being a great movie. The stunts are spectacular, especially the one that they showcase on the front cover. And obviously, in Mission Impossible traditions, all the stunts that Tom Cruise does are real. He does his own stunts. None of this CGI, nothing. Alright, what makes it the weakest link for me is really the fact that this film tries to be so many things at one time versus just trying to be one thing. But the idea of the IMF being all disavowed, all the agents being disavowed and having to fend for themselves is an interesting concept. Hence the terminology Ghost Protocol. Quality-wise, but first let's go into actually the plot of the film real quick for the quality. This will probably be a quicker review because I'm trying to get through all this before December because I got a big event that starts on December 1st. Now I want to get to that. You're going to like it. I will certainly say that. Alright, the plot of the film. After a mission goes terribly wrong, that an IMF agent is killed and business is left undone, and there is missile codes out there that are about to be sold to the highest bidder. Ethan Hunt, who has been in captivity, doing a deep cover mission of being incarcerated in a Russian prison so that his wife can move on with her life and not be in danger of being killed because of him. He went on pretty much a one-way trip mission to be incarcerated in a Russian prison so that she could become pretty much a ghost and fall through cracks and become invisible. And basically, he gets broken out by Benji, played again by Simon Pugh. Let me tell you, spell his name and pronounce his name. Basically, he's put into a mission to try to find these codes and fix up the mess, which leads to the destruction of the Kremlin. And the IMF secretary comes down to meet Ethan Hunt, again played by Tom Cruise, and tells him that the IMF team has all been disavowed. You are all pretty much, it's over. We have initiated Ghost Protocol. All the IMF and all resources are now disavowed. But he also says that we have intercepted weird chatter, and we expect that something bigger is going on. So your mission, if you choose to accept, is to find out what's going on, and basically sends them on a rogue mission before being killed by a incoming bullet. And his analyst, played by Jeremy Renner, he plays obviously Hawkeye in the MCU, in the Avengers films, as well as in Captain America Civil War. And he basically tags along, and they go all the way to exotic locations, which also include Egypt, the Ukraine, and of course, obviously, all around Russia as well. And they find out it's all about this villain, whose name is, I think it's like Cobalt. I believe it's the name of the villain. I forget the actor who plays that character. Well, me it say on the back here. It does not. But the actor who plays our villain played the villain in the first John Wick movie with Keanu Reeves, and also played the main character in the original Dragon trilogy. So there was the Swedish actual foreign movies, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played a Fire, and The Girl Who Kicked a Hornet's Nest. He's the star of those films. And of course, obviously, he's our villain in this movie. And hot on even Hunt's tail, you have a Russian inspector who's hot on his tail. Thinks he's responsible for terrorist activities. And in the climax of the film, it becomes a race against time to abort a missile that's about to blow up a major city in America, I believe. But yeah, overall, it's an exciting movie. But it's more story-driven, in my opinion, and this has some really good action set pieces. But it's more of a character-driven, more of a story-driven movie. So, in a lot of ways, it's a lot like the first film, and if you think about it. But the first film did it so much better than the fourth film. And usually when you get to 4 is known as a saga, and sometimes part 4 is always going to be a step down from part 3. Doesn't happen often, but this is one of the cases to where I think it happens. I thought that part 3 was better than this one. Now let's go into quality. Quality of the movie is where it pays off. The first 3 movies in the regular Blu-rays, not the 4K ones. I don't have 4K box set for these movies. But the first 3 films just had a really fast, rushed remastering into HD. And just had the same Dolby Digital 5.1 sound sources, and just put in a higher bit rate and put on the disc. That's what the first 3 are. So pretty lazy, pathetic job for Blu-ray. Now that's not the case with this one. You can tell a lot of work was put into this Blu-ray in terms of video and audio. The picture is flawless. It has no grain on the picture. Very flawless. Good color temperatures. I say this one has much more of a neutral / warm temperature. Kind of like the way the camera's looking at me right now. It kind of looks like that. So natural, and not like, overly digitally cool looking, not overly warm. But there are a lot more warm temperatures than there are cool temperatures in this film. At least that's kind of what I felt about this one. Your opinion may be different on that. The audio is a 7.1 Dolby True HD sound presentation, and it definitely is a good one. There's a lot of good sound presentation when it comes to the effects. I mean, there's lots of object-based effects in this movie. It makes good use of any type of configuration, where you have a 3.1.2 configuration like mine, or a 5.1.2 configuration if you have current next-generation technology. And I've seen this movie before, without watching it theatrically, obviously, on my old Yamaha system, which was a traditional 5.1 configuration. And yeah, this is a good demo-worthy sound presentation of a film. So if you want to showcase a conventional sound system, or show what you can do with a conventional Dolby True HD sound presentation through a Dolby Atmos configured system, this right here will definitely not let you down. The effects are very, very good in terms of audio. And that's pretty much all there is to say about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. This one took a lot longer to explain and plot because it's a lot more going on in this than it's a lot more complicated than the other two. Which is part of the reason why it's kind of the odd duck. It's a very complicated plot. The other ones are a little bit easier to follow. This one, not so much. And don't think that because I think that this is the worst Mission Impossible film out of all of them, don't think that that means it's a bad movie. This is still a very enjoyable film. I still do like this movie. I just don't think it's the best one. I think it's the worst of the series. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie. So keep that in mind. And I'll see you guys next time for my review of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Until then.